Hi all, welcome back. Red Storm Dark Blue Defection Scenario 5. This is Dark Blue Defection. This is my part 4. Okay, didn't get back to the table yesterday, so missed a day out there. But I was given time for John Brown to make some comments. This was from part 2, I think. Yeah, this was from part 2. So, yeah, I'll just dive into these just now. Again, he's got these time stamped. One of the ones in particular, I'm not going to read it all out. It's a bit detailed. I'm going to kind of study it myself a little bit when I need to. But anyway, the first one at the 30-minute and 30-second mark. Detection does not matter for AAA period. Yeah, I don't know. I think why I started thinking down that road. I came to that conclusion in the end, I think I did, but I was still a little bit, I wasn't 100% sure about it. And I think it's just because it worded that regarding AA concentrations, didn't it? Where it said it didn't matter if they were detected or undetected. However, it didn't say that regarding the other two types of AAA, but like I've said, I think we have found a little bit of that in this rulebook, and it's not to sort of say, I mean, it's not saying you can't do it, so you can. If it specifically says you can't do it in an undetected aircraft, then it would say that, so it doesn't. So he carries on. Barrages are more about throwing up a wall of fire and hoping it hits something. Okay, radar A and mobile A are more localised radars that are less tied into the overall picture and more worried about local defence. So anyway, detection doesn't matter. So we've got that confirmed. Good. Okay, 52-minute mark. This is kind of a big response to the front markers and where the front is and how it's all worked, because it's staggered here. I'll read a bit of it. I don't think, if I read it all out, I think it's something you need to go and look at yourself. It says, you are correct, the hexes with front markers are definitely on the NATO side of the front. Okay, well, that's good to start with. Which I kind of thought that, because the arrow's pointing that way. So he's saying that that hex is in the NATO side of the front. Obviously, it's clear these two hexes here are on the other side of the front. It's the same here. These two hexes are clearly not. But the difficulty is this hex classified as over the other side or not? I would say that kind of lines up with that, so I would say no. So I would say it, but then it kind of comes round like that, doesn't it? But maybe that's. I think the fact that we definitely know these are NATO, I could probably work better on that. So he says. He says, so your arrows are pointing to the Warsaw Pact territory. Okay, so the line of hexes between the front markers are also, by definition, NATO side. So, yeah, but line of hexes is, this. The difficult bit is when we're going from there to there, okay, I could say that hex is in line, but what is... And me and John does sort of understand what I'm saying, because he says... He says, in all the standard Red Storm scenarios, as far as I've played anyway, but definitely including all the solo scenarios, the front line travels along straight lines of full hexes, so you can easily tell the NATO side from the Warsaw Pact side. Well, I wish they had done that here. It would have been more clear to me. Yeah, this staggering of it just makes it slightly difficult to pick out, how it works. He says, so for instance, he talks about solo scenario A and the markers. Well, there's no point in me reading that until I go and look at it. So I'll skip by that bit, but I'm going to have a look at this to see if I can sort of decide for myself. But I think John has just come to the conclusion about how he deals with it. He says, DBD scenarios have the front line set up without regard to lines of hexes, which makes things more difficult. I've generally made a decision between two possibilities. Are all hexes touched by the line on the front, i.e. NATO side, or is it hexes where the NATO side would be half or more based or where the line falls in the hex. It just gets a wee bit too complex, and I'm probably going to not be able to explain what he's saying here. You're better reading this. I'm going to go and read this myself as well to try and grasp how it's. I mean, I'm going to have to find out though. I'm going to have to find this out. I just wish they had. They could have done it in straight lines, surely. You know, and made it nice and easy for us, couldn't they? Couldn't that like been in there to say that it comes straight down to there and then goes straight down to there? You know, I just yeah, it just kind of feels like they could have done it that way. I don't know. Maybe I'm making more of this than needs to be. But it seems that the way he's had to sort of make a judgment call himself on how it should be as well. So, right, I'll let you read that yourself, and I'm going to go and have to read it as well and see if I can come out with the conclusion to how he works it. Rather than me try to read it here and getting a little bit confused. So I'll move on from that just now. 57 and the 15-second mark. He says, yeah, I tend to believe you can have Mother hover a bit to let Slam do his thing to thin out the Warsaw Pact defences. Yeah, I kind of figured that we could do that. The fact we can move on one hex back and forward anyway, which I think my initial stumbling block was the fact I thought I had to keep moving them forward one hex, but it doesn't say that. It just says it move one hex per turn. So but you would think it could hover as well. So he seems to say that. So unless Howard comes back and says that there's a reason why it can't hover, then we'll go with that. He does follow up though the longer you wait, the more time you give the Warsaw Pact flights to get closer. He says, I speak from experience. So a wee hint there to sort of say, yeah, and we don't have an awful lot of, they've got more cat flights than us by quite a bit this time. They've got 5, haven't they? And we've got 3. So, and one of ours is just run it depleted its BVR weapons as well. But anyway, yeah, I get that. I understand that we can't linger about, but I certainly want my bomber to go in and try and do a little bit to clear. Yeah, I can see what he's meaning though. If I want to clear all this nonsense out, although he did point something out to me which I'm going to jump on right enough, which I maybe hadn't thought about. I think I would have realised come the time, but well, the thing is, that's where we need to go. That's the extraction point. These two K22s up the back there, they're not firing at that hex, remember. The SA13 is. They're not firing at that hex. They've only got a range of 1, remember. And admittedly, looking at it now, it's clear, but these two, however, are adjacent. So these are more a priority to get out of the way. So I think ideally we'd like to come down to do something with the SAM and they two K22s. But by doing that, we're leaving these 3 and we're having to fly through them if we don't do anything with them. So there's there might be issues doing that. Anyway, so yeah, time is of the essence, I think. He's gave a few tips here and a wee hint here or there. He says, that said, I would carefully plan out Slam's flight path so he can attack those defences in consecutive turns or as close to that as possible. So yeah, that's what he's saying. We want to be able to go boom, 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 really. I mean, if it's these 3, we want to be able to attack the 3, hopefully in the next 3 turns. Well, I'm saying in the next 3 turns. I don't think we can reach this turn, can we? But we want to go into a position where we can see. I mean, I suppose I was going for this one first, but could I go for this one, then the SA13, and then drop down to the 2? Or is that just like... Right, I thought my phone had been on charge, but it's not. So I've come up with a battery warning there. 20% though, so it's a wee bit, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, this is the 1 hour 30 second mark. Also a reminder about ordnance speed limit 60.23, which also limits slam to 4 movement points. Now, did I move him at 5? No, I was talking about it. There wasn't a. That's such an easy got you that one, eh? We did. No, we did. Yeah, have I cheated? Have I moved him at 5? Think I might have. No. He's at medium. I was talking about taking him to high. I was talking about taking him to high so I could benefit from that extra speed of 5. Well, we can't do that because we're way done. And he's went the rule 16.23, which tells us ordnance speed limits. Now we've got CBUs, haven't we? Flights laden with bombs, anti-runway bombs, CBUs, LGBs, EOGB, or chaff may not select a speed greater than 4. So, yeah, thanks for that reminder, John. I would have forgot that, and probably will in the future. That's an easy one to catch you out. I think there's a few in this game. There is a few that's going to catch you out. But, right, that was always comments from there. So, there was nothing majorly done wrong now. So I did get 2 or 3 comments from part 3. Wait a minute. Yeah, he must have done these on his phone. These are separate. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, the first one. Just had to go and check. Well, at least I'm pretty sure this is what he's talking about. I didn't watch it all there because I don't want to spend all my time looking at clips of video. At the 10 minute and 45 second mark, he says, yep, you have it right about how the scenario's ordnance works. And this is me talking about my slight confusion about the ATCBU bomb points here. The fact that it was 6. But that is actual what we've got, so that will double to 12. So I'm assuming that's what he's meaning, that we do have that right. And you can see Howard's not been able to do that, but it was just my confusion was that the last time we done this, it was exactly the same. Like I say, I think Howard should probably... Well, I don't know. I don't know how you deal with that. I mean, maybe it's common sense and I'm just... because I'm seeing it my way. Right, anyway. Yeah, and then at the 22 minute and 40 second mark, this is what I was telling you about the 2K22. 2K22s only fire 1 hex away, so those 2 2K22s adjacent to the SA13 do not fire in the extraction hex. And I would have realised that, but yeah, I should have been looking at that, thinking about how my strategy about coming, because in actual fact, well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think I could maybe go for that one though, because if I don't go for that one, it's going to give me grief. But if I went for that one, then be able to come down at that and that. Like I say, I don't know. John's probably shaking his head, thinking you're not going to have all that time. Who knows? I don't know. We've got one of our... Well, mind you, they've got 5 flights. Ugh, yeah. Yeah, they're not all going to be down the bottom there, Grant. Well, in fact, they can't. There's only 3 more generic flights down the bottom. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud there. He says, they do fire into the SA13's hex. Also, don't forget about the inherent light AAA barrage in a SAM unit's hex. Yeah, well, I had looked at that in the last scenario. I think that came up. And in fact, did I not move into the hex? But I was... Yeah, no, I'm sure I took a shot from that the last time, actually moving into the SAM's hex. So yeah, I'm aware of that. That's fine. And then the last comment I made, it's at the 35-minute mark, and it's when I was deciding if I could just sneak another move with these. In fact, did I not do it at first? Then realised, no, I can't. I'm going to have to draw. And he says, yeah, I think the flights are close enough this turn to need the initiative chats. So that's good. Okay, right, thanks for your comments, John. So nothing majorly went wrong, but a few tips there and a few hints, and about what could be. Okay, like I said, I don't have much charge on my phone. To be honest, I'm a bit weary today as well, and I had hoped to have got a bit of time, but I just feeling a little bit burnt out after work today, and a few other things cropped up, and yeah. Right, well, we'll go until I get the warning about the 10% on my back. Or is it 10 or 5% you get? I can't, whatever the next one is. So what are we at? Well, Warsaw Pac's turn. So it's their turn to draw an initiative check then, basically. Right, let's do that then. Let's get that moving. I must have chucked the other chip back in because I don't see it lying about. We have a 3 in the large and a 2 in the small. Okay, so 2 flights for them. Okay. So, right, well, we're going to roll a dice, aren't we? I'm going to roll a dice looking for a suit to see which flight's going to move. We've got 2 flights that can move. I've rolled a 3, which is hearts. So, where's my tweezers? There. So there's a heart there. E flight is a diamond. Yeah, I'm going to take a wee note of these in future. You keep saying in future, Grant, you could go and do that. The other thing I was going to do was bring out some generic flights so I can put them down the hexes while I move them. So we've got a heart there, and the only other possibility is that C flight, isn't it? It could well be then. It is. Oh, well, they're the both flights that are going to move, aren't they? Right, well, one of them, I want to say, well, C flight should be moving first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. F flight is within 7 hexes though. I don't think that matters just yet. Both actions, combat actions. Yeah. We just move them in alphabetical order still. So C flight is going to move first. Move in with generic MiG-21, which will be the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Staying at medium. And that's him. It's him moved. Right, but F flight, like I say, is within 7. So just looking at this again, just as a reminder of how this kind of works. These we rolled, we got the heart. So generic bot flights in the suit move next, and generic bot ID numerical alphabetical order. And real bot flights would move first, but we didn't have any of them in the suit. So then we'd run down, then you get the arrow come across here, then we'd run down there to check all the aircraft for any of these markers, any damage and cripple. Then we get down the bottom, and as always, we skip this non-combat actions. I think that you just forget about that. So we go to combat actions, come across here. Again, we're skipping all that. However, if detected enemy flight and he is detected, isn't he? Yeah, he is. If detected enemy flight in same hex or within 7 hexes, roll 1d10. Well, we don't need to roll on that because we're going to ignore that. So we're going to go straight to that right now, which is over the page. Well, inside. Yeah. Right, so this is what we're going to do, and they're going to try and... well, I think I roll on this first, don't I? I mean, it's a kind of pointless roll if it turns out to be a dummy, but I've turned the card over now anyway, so let's just roll to see. So 6 or less, it'll attempt BVR. 2, so it's going to look at BVR. That's assuming it can. It's got weapons. Well, I'm pretty sure they've got weapons, but it can get in range, and rules of engagement don't interfere, etc. But just jumping back across to here, and yeah, probably should do this first, really, because we know it's going to attempt. We know it's going to receive either an attempt BVR combat or attempt standard air-to-air combat. So that's one of the conditions that tells us we need to activate the flight and find out if it's real or dummy. So, you know, we know it's going to do one of them, so we're as well finding out first rather than finding out what it's going to do, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I noticed when I was watching back the video and I was saying, yeah, we don't use this because it's different than the DBD. Well, not in this scenario. It's exactly the same. It's where are we? I jumped on a scenario 5. Yeah, on a 1 to 6 it's a real flight, and a 7 to 10 it's a dummy, which is exactly what that is there. But it was funny, I was saying, yeah, we don't use that, and then I looked and I thought, well, it's exactly the same. But the DBD in the past, well, in the previous scenarios, it was different. At least it was different than some of them. You need to check that anyway. So 1 to 6 is going to be real. So do we want this or not? I don't know. Well, let's just roll and see. 1 to 6 it's real. It is indeed. So we do have another real flight. So to find out what it is, now we've got, it can't be Mechlin, which is the MiG-23M. Well, you know what, I think I'll roll the dice though, rather than, because it's 1 to 3, well hang on, 1 to 3's got 3 possibilities, 7 to 10's got 4, and that. You know what, I'm just going to roll the dice. So 1 to 3 it's a MiG-25, 7 to 10 it's a MiG-21. But we might have to re-roll if we roll, let's see, 9, that's a MiG-21 I think. Yeah, so it's a MiG-21 SPS. Oh, of course there's 3 of them. Right, there's 3 of them, so I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll a wee D6 here. It doesn't matter, they're all the same, but just to find which one it is, Wolf, Klein or Reef. So Wolf is 1, 2, etc. I've rolled a 1, so it's going to be Wolf. Yeah, because there's no difference between them as well. That's just a random, just to see who it is. Right, okay. So this is the MiG-21, and like I say, it's Wolf flight we've got, and that's for this F. So there we go. That F can go back. Right, and he's going to attempt BVR. Now looking at the chart, oh, they can't. Okay, MiG-21s don't have BVR capabilities. Well. Well, okay, that's fine. I mean, we would have still, we just wouldn't have rolled for it. We would have just went straight to attempt standard air-to-air, wouldn't we? Yeah, it says if no BVR weapons cannot get into range or rules of engagement prevent BVR with nearest detected enemy flight, go to attempt standard air-to-air. Okay, so standard air-to-air then for him. Well, he's probably not going to be able to get any action this turn then, I don't think. What can he do? He's not mid-jump. He can dash at 5. Yeah, he's not going to quite get there. So he does determine his target. So it's his nearest detected human player flight. Now remember that we do have that extra DBD rule, which, like I say, it was in the last scenario as well. The bot flight target priority for engagement action is detected good order flights. So we would follow all this, however, we would ignore any disordered flights and move on to the next the nearest good ordered flight. That's how I would see that. Okay, but it is still going to be the same target. So just because I know we can't reach 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's going to be a couple of hexes short. So move to enter. If engagement attempt not possible, move as close as possible to target flight at same altitude, turning to keep it in forward arc. And remember, we want to come in from the rear hemisphere as possible, so maybe we want to consider that. Okay, so like I say, he's at mid-jump, so he can dash at 5. Yeah, it's combat or dash throttle, whichever is needed to engage. See, here again, we're sort of saying, and they only have 6 points of fuel. But I don't know, what if I'm close to him and dodge was to fly away somewhere else maybe, and if I'd used my dash here, I might have been one hex closer to him. I'm not really seeing that way, but I'm pretty sure dodge is going to get involved in the action, like. I don't know though here. What? Well, we're at medium altitude, so he doesn't need to change his altitude. Combat or dash throttle, it says, whichever is needed to engage. Well, neither one of them is going to let me engage. That's why I kind of feel like it's a bit silly to waste that fuel point. Okay, yeah, that's not clear enough for me, I don't think. It's not clear enough it tells me I should use dash throttle. I think as long as I'm getting close enough to be able to either combat or dash throttle next turn to engage him, I don't know where he's going to go, so I can't, using that extra movement point just now to move towards him, I don't think it's, if it was enabling me to engage him, yes, by all means. Right. Okay, so I'm going to say he's just going to keep his movement at his speed at 4. Remember nighttime grant. What are the turns? The free turns are the same though, aren't they? It's just that the max turn is 60. So in actual fact, there's no real point doing a full turn at night at speed of 3 and 4 anyway, because you can get a free turn at 60. Okay. So we do 4. I've got to remember I can't fly through his flight, but I think I want to like 1, 2, 3, maybe come about there. So let me see. See, this is, I'm just going to put that F back there just now. If I went 1, 2, 330-degree turn, 3, 4, 330-degree turn, something like that. I think, and like I say, he didn't need to change his altitude anyway. So that's him. We're in his front arc, sorry, and he's kind of like coming around the side, so he maybe could come in from that side, I'm thinking. And yeah, okay, if I dashed him here, I could be 1 hex closer, but what does that really give me? It doesn't, I don't think it really benefits me. I mean, you could say, well, it might if he was to turn and move away, and then if I dashed again, I would maybe catch him up, but I don't know. Yeah, the wording of it's not good enough though for me. That's what I'm saying. Combat or dash throttle, whichever is needed to engage. Well, none of them can engage it, so I'm not gonna dash. Let me know your thoughts. So, I think he finished with a turn, didn't he, as well, which is, yeah, it's fine. So finish with a turn. Yeah, that was it. So that's 2 of the 5 flights found. Oh, I was going to say the 3 might be here, but I'm forgetting that's not there, is it? Okay, and that was the 2 initiatives of the Warsaw Pact, wasn't it? Okay. Right, I think I'm going to have to charge this phone. We're only at 30 minutes, so grand. Could I push on? Well, I think the next stuff for me is going to be kind of important though, isn't it? Well, not necessarily. I could leave the bombing until maybe had a look at it more carefully. Yeah, let's draw another initiative check and we'll keep going. Just so if I could try and make another part here, that would be good. Okay, it's not going to include our bomber run, but we'll maybe keep that for the next part. Right, a 2 in the large, only a 1 in the small for us. Right, so 1 flight. So it's going to be Chevy or Vegas, I would say. Well, we know there's 2 flights down here. Well, I think what I'm going to do is just move Chevy straight on, because I think he's got to have a look. He's got to have a look at these guys over here. I think we've got to at least send 1 across that way, and Vegas will maybe bring him into here, not down, not up, but just in the middle, sort of. Well, I've only got 1 initiative just now anyway, so I'm going to activate. I'm going to move Chevy. And I'm going to dash him. He's at high altitude. Right, now he's not weighed in, so we don't need to worry about speeds. It's only when they've got ordnance. So at high altitude with a dash, he's got a movement of 6. The only thing is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not that far anyway, is it? It's not as far as you think, Grant. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're at high altitude, so it's fine going through that, and at 6. Hang on. Just wonder if we should make a turn, because we know they're going to turn up that way a little bit. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, free turn, 5, 6. Yeah, they're still a good bit away anyway. That's fine. Oops. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, the most important move I'm saying the most important move, I can't get in on the action yet, can I? But I do need to decide because I was talking about, there's a possibility I could come in this way and go for this one. I mean, this one's not really bothering us, but I could come in that way and then go for that one, the SA13 and that one, and then not have to bother about the A2 at the top. Mind you, that SA13, yeah, well, you've got to be all right on top of all of these, haven't you, Grant? Forgetting that. We're not. It's just bombs we've got, so we need to be in the hex. Yeah, there's a bit more thought for that. Okay, that's our one initiative. Well, let's just go back to Warsaw Pat then. See what they've got. Let's see, I'll probably stop once we get to my bomber and leave that. That's a 0 for them, so it's back to us, which is not really what I wanted. I'd rather them get moved, to be honest. But that's what it is. It's a 4 for us on the front and a 2 in the back. Well, I can still get away with this because I've got my helicopters to move yet. Right, so, we'll just move Vegas first. And I think I'll just move Vegas straight on. Oh, I forgot dash marker, didn't I? Right, we're going to dash Vegas as well. Or should he be coming to look down here now that we know that there's 2 real flights down here? The fact that Dodge has lost his BVR. Yeah, I think maybe we should. Okay, so Vegas is going to move at 6 as well, at high altitude. Yeah. Right, give me a second. Right, I've got some generic flights just randomly dragged. So that's just to keep track on where he was and what he's facing is. So he's got 6 movement. Right, so 1, 2, free turn 3, 4, free turn 5, 6. Yeah, let's go with that. He's still not right. Well, he's not far away from dodge, so. Could he take on one of them next turn? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, remember, we've got a BVR, Grant. Yeah, so he could. He's not within range. There's 5, innit? We need 5 hexes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. So he was at high. He dashed. That was 6 movement. Yeah. He's marked. Finished. We can take that away again. Wasn't really needed there, but sometimes these will be, I think. So we've got one. Yeah, we've got one more. Well, I'm going to move Mother 1 hex again because it's safe enough. Well, I say it's safe enough. We do have the incoming Warsaw Pact flights coming up that way, but yeah, that's the thing. I'm sending him down there. That's maybe a mistake, innit? I should maybe have my 2 cap flights going north because they need to protect Mother. Right, you know what? I'll take a wee chance. That's maybe silly, isn't it? Yeah, that is silly, Grant. Because at least dodge is going to, well, it's kind of weaving dodge in a bit of bother, isn't it? I mean, we've still got to find 3 dummies. I mean, it is possible, it's technically possible that 3 of these 4 could be dummies. And then we would be fine with just the 1 flight up there. And we would need the 2 down here, although it could be the other way about. These 2 could be dummies, and then we would want that flight up there. So yeah, it's. I mean, maybe you'd like to say that. What was his name again? Vegas. Maybe Vegas would be better trying to BVR this to find out what it is. Maybe I don't know. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure here at all what is right. We know we've got 2 real fights down the south. We don't know what's up the north yet. Of course, I suppose when the roll for the real flight is 1 to 6. So there's a higher chance that whatever you do target first, whatever you go and try and look at first is going to be real. There's a better chance of it, isn't there? Whereas 7 to 10, the odds are less there, but does that maybe mean that I should maybe try and do what I'm doing here? Come down, look at this guy. Well, actually, both of these are going to move up a bit as well. So that's. Well, hang on. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that to next turn as well, Grant. And remember, dodge cannot. Yeah, I think I do want to leave it down there. Yeah, you can see you want them in both places, don't you? You want them up there and down there, but can't be. Right. Okay, I will move Mother 1 more hex then just now, and then we'll consider hovering her. I think. Well, actually, you know what? I think I'll just hover her back where she was. Because I'm not going to go in there yet anyway. Yeah, so I'm just going to say she's staying in the same hex. I spend all my movement points for her to just hover there. And I think that's fine. So that was my 2 initiative draw. Right, and close to battery going out. So well, I'll draw. See if we can get a bit more. Thing is, yeah, we might end up with. Well, let's draw. Let's draw for the Warsaw Pack. One more chat then. The 3 in the large, 2 in the small. Right. Okay. Well, if this might just, if it conks out, we know what's happened. So 2 in the small. Okay, well, I need to roll for suit again because we've got a diamond. Well, actually, I think they might all be diamonds. I think that is the case. It is. So I've got an E, an H, and a B. So we don't need to roll. What was that one John was reminding me of? What was that one he was reminding me of? When there's 2 close, as close. It's not, I think it's when there's real fights, but hang on. Real bot fights. Real bot fights in the suit move first in order based on proximity to human player fights. Yeah, that's if we had 2 the same suit. I wouldn't use them in alphabetical order there. Right, okay. That's fine. So I'm going to move B first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That medium as well. And then which one? It's going to be, well, it's going to be E, isn't it? Right. So he's going to do something different. Well, we know they. Oh no, you can't say that, Grant, because you don't know what this is. So we know they can't be VR, but that's only if it turns out to be a. Well, he's within 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, rather than me roll to see what he's going to do first, well, we just roll to see if he's real. I think so, because I mean I'm going to have to roll and see what he does. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to roll, and it's a 1 to 6. It'll be real. But I kind of think we want it to be real. The fact that we pushed that other fight down a little bit. So okay, so 1 to 6 it's real. And it is. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The odds are going to be slightly better that's going to happen. Well, we need to find out what it is. So it could still be a MiG 21 SPS. So I'm just going to roll this dice again. And a 1 to 3 is going to be the MiG 25 PD, sorry. And a 7 to 10, it's going to be a MiG 21 SPS. If it's in between that, I'll re-roll. Okay. That's me at 10% battery. 1 to 3. Ah, that's a MiG 25 then. Oh, okay. I think that's a bad one. So it's going to be the MiG 25. And we are now running out of battery. So, and to be honest, he might be able to do a launch on us as well, isn't he? So MiG 25. That's flight E. And that is Markov. So Markov is going to replace the E flight. And, MiG 25, it does, well, yeah, it's easily going to be able to, ooh, look at his speed. Wow. Ouch, is that? He's at medium, so he could get a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he can do both here. He could do both. Okay. I'm going to spoil the. I'm going to keep the suspense going then, rather than spoil it. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to mark that there, like that, to say that that's the fight that we're moving. Because, yeah, I'm going to have to charge the phone. I'm not going to get through this activation of this. Because it's either going to engage in BDR or it's going to engage in standard air-to-air. And it can do either, I think. Okay, I'm gonna take a break there, and I'm just going to cut this part. I know it's a kind of rotten place to cut it, but it will let me put another wee part together, and I might be on the train tomorrow with something to watch back, so I'll give me that, because I'm not sure I'm going to get back tonight or not, to be honest. That's the other reason why I thought it's better just to cut it here. Okay, but we'll see. If I do get a bit more time, it's not too late just now, so if we do get a bit more time, then and it was the second initiative though, isn't it? Yeah, so it is only this flight to go, and then that'll be that. In fact, I'll not put that on there. Just leave that like that. That should remind me. It's on the video anyway. Okay, right, I will be back maybe later, but if not, tomorrow sometime. Okay, cheers.